Sources close to the campaign tell NBC News former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will announce she's running for president.
Okay, let me do it one more time. I know you think I'm crazy. You're right.
I'll be more serious.
I got a deep perk.
And rolling. Okay, whenever you're ready.
Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion.
This afternoon, with a 16-word tweet and a 2-minute video, Hillary Clinton managed to electrify the race for president.
Who knew Hillary Clinton liked herself a good road trip?
She has traveled from New York to Iowa in what she has dubbed her Scooby van.
Thank you, guys. I've spent my life fighting for children, families, and our country, and I'm not stopping now.
Hillary Clinton campaign officers, welcome to Brooklyn.
I tell everybody in my car to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Well, you're my kind of man.
Breaking this hour, the nation's highest court ruling that requires states to allow marriage between same-sex couples.
This morning, love triumphed in the highest court in our land.
This year, there are a lot of candidates.
Martin O'Malley, Hillary and Bernie.
More than a dozen Republican governors and senators.
And the always outspoken real estate mogul and reality TV star Donald Trump.
Oh, Val. I wish you could be president.
Me too.
Are you wearing those shoes on stage? Are they? I'm sorry. No. I mean, honest to God, do you think anybody talked to Bernie Sanders on shoes?
The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
Madam Secretary, you're welcome to answer the question.
I wrote a whole chapter about this in my book, Hard Choices. I'd be glad to send it to you, Congressman. What's happening in Flint, Michigan. Every single American should be outraged.
Hillary Clinton isn't afraid to say that Black Lives Matter.
Every single one of our children deserves the chance to live up to his or her God-given potential.
How are you? My gosh!
All right, it's finally the real thing tonight in Iowa. You can feel the energy.
This one is a close race.
Get refreshed. Yeah, what do you think I was doing every 5 seconds?
It's a nail biter.
Hillary Clinton declared victory for the Democrats.
Campaigns now take to New Hampshire and beyond.
Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton. Thank you, New Hampshire.
She expanded her lead tonight.
Clinton now getting her strongest show of support yet.
Trump and Hillary Clinton recorded a string of important wins.
Hold on.
And NBC just called it.
NBC News is now declaring Hillary Clinton the presumptive Democratic nominee.
For the next president of the United States.
Thanks to you, we've reached a milestone.
Hillary Clinton naming her vice presidential running mate.
My friend, Senator Tim Kaine.
I'm feeling a lot of things today, most of all, gratitude. I'm grateful to you, Hillary, for the trust that you've placed in me, and we're going to be compañeros de alma in this great lucha ahead.
Our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
Brave. That's what Hillary Clinton called me when I told her I was worried my parents would be deported.
Donald Trump, have you even read the United States Constitution? I will gladly lend you my copy.
No matter how daunting the odds, no matter how much people try to knock her down, she never, ever quits. That's the Hillary I admire.
In honor of Dorothy and Hugh's daughter and my sweet friend, this one's for you, Hill. 98 votes. Yes.
I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
It is with humility, determination, and boundless confidence in America's promise that I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
It is a historic night in Philadelphia as Clinton becomes the first woman to accept a presidential nomination from a major party.
When there are no ceilings, the sky's the limit.
It will be Clinton versus Trump. A man whose presidential candidacy was greeted as a joke when he announced it.
I alone can fix it.
I have a very good brain.
I know words. I have the best words. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing. What I say is what I say.
I don't like mosquitoes.
Bong, bing, bing, bing. I tweet.
Hillary Clinton clearly ready to take Trump on.
When you see how well it works for Donald Trump, do you ever think to yourself, oh, maybe I should be more racist?
The first presidential debate, Secretary Clinton.
Woo! Okay.
I don't know Putin. He said nice things about me. He has no respect for her.
Well, that's because he'd rather have a puppet as president of the United States.
No puppet.
And it's pretty clear.
You're the puppet.
It's
Mr. Trump. Nobody has more respect for women than I do. Nobody.
Chris, let me respond to that because that's horrifying.
Turns out what America really needs Hillary Clinton to be, she is one of the only people in the whole country who's not afraid of a bully.
That's right. Hillary doesn't play.
Starting right now, let's come together, let's work together, and let's be hopeful and optimistic and unified in the face of division and hate. Let's have each other's backs, lift each other up, not tear each other down.
We're gonna do it. Yes, we are.
Let's go out and win this election to make sure we do exactly that.
My mother, Dorothy, was abandoned by her parents as a young girl. She ended up on her own at 14 working as a housemaid. She was saved by the kindness of others. The lesson she passed on to me stuck with me. No one gets through life alone. And she made sure I learned the words from our Methodist faith. Do all the good you can, for all the people you can, in all the ways you can, as long as ever you can. So I went to work for the Children's Defense Fund, going door to door on behalf of children with disabilities who were denied the chance to go to school.
I went to South Carolina to investigate the plight of 12 and 13-year-old boys imprisoned alongside grown men who had committed serious felonies. In Alabama, I helped expose the racism of segregated academies. In Arkansas, I ran a legal aid clinic that provided representation to poor families and prison inmates who could not afford it.
I've been your First Lady, served 8 years as a senator.
Don't let anybody forget what happened here.
Then as Secretary of State. But my job titles only tell you what I've done. They don't tell you why.
My mother taught me that everybody needs a chance and a champion.
And I still hear her voice urging me to keep working, keep fighting for right no matter what.
Human rights are women's rights.
Gay rights are human rights. I wish my mother could have been with us longer. I wish she could have seen Chelsea become a mother herself. I wish she could have seen the America we're going to build together. An America where a father can tell his daughter, yes, you can be anything you want to be, even President of the United States. It's a simple but powerful idea. We believe that we are stronger together. To be great, we can't be small. We
have to be as big as the values that define America. And we are a big-hearted, fair-minded country. We teach our children that this is one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not just for people who look a certain way, or worship a certain way, or love a certain way, or all, indivisible. As I look at American history, I see that this has always been a country of we, not me. E pluribus unum. Out of many, one. Ever since 13 squabbling colonies put aside their disagreements and united because they realized they were going to rise together or fall separately.
What are you going to do about all this bullying?
This election really is about who we are as a nation.
I care about people with disabilities.
It's about millions of Americans coming together to say, we are better than this. We won't let this happen in America.
I'm good at the thing.
Here, come here, Ben. I'll do everything I can, and I'll fight for you as hard as I can.
And if you agree, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, I hope you will join us. If you believe diversity is America's strength, not America's burden, join us. Black Lives Matter. If you believe the minimum wage should be a living wage, join us. If you believe no one working full-time should have to raise their children in poverty, join us. If you believe that climate change is real, join us. We will defend all our rights, civil rights, human rights, and voting rights, women's rights and workers' rights, LGBT rights, and the rights of people with disabilities. If you believe that every man, woman, and child in America has the right to affordable, quality health care, join us. If you believe we should finally guarantee equal pay for women, join us. Yes, the world is watching what we do. Yes, America's destiny is ours to choose. So let's be stronger together, my fellow Americans. Let's look to the future with courage and confidence. Let's build a better tomorrow for our beloved children and our beloved country. And when we do, America will be greater than ever.
Long before Hillary Clinton testified at Benghazi hearings or battled Donald Trump, she defied the traditional role of First Lady to become a major political player.
Anyone who knows my husband and knows me knows that we've been having this conversation about what should be done in this country for more than 20 years. He's the one who's elected. He's the one who has to make the final decision. But I care about what he does, and I care about what happens, and I want to participate.
Her college classmates might have seen it coming. In 1969, Hillary took the stage as graduation speaker at Wellesley College, the first time a student was chosen to impart her words of wisdom to the 400 or so grads at commencement.
She is a major in political science and a candidate for the degree with honors. She is also cheerful, good-humored, good company, and a good friend to all of us, and it is a great pleasure to present to this audience Ms. Hillary Rodham.
It was a speech that foreshadowed her drive as First Lady.
Fear is always with us, but we just don't have time for it. Not now.
Decades later, she ruffled feathers with her refusal to sit on the sidelines.
Bill Clinton is running hard for the presidency, but his wife Hillary, an attorney and an advocate for various causes, seems to be running as hard as he is.
I suppose I could have stayed home and baked cookies and had teas, but what I decided to do was to fulfill my profession, which I entered before my husband was in public life.
She's less a spouse than a running mate. Her assertiveness makes some voters uncomfortable.
I feel that she's the power behind the throne.
I think she's a very aggressive woman. She's overly ambitious.
We elected Bill Clinton, not Hillary.
I think she has a little bit too much power for a president's wife.
The power that she has bothers me a lot.
You do have considerable influence, and some people say that there are Americans who don't feel totally comfortable with that because they're not sure how much influence you have. And after all, you were not elected. How much influence do you have?
I don't know that I have any more influence than anybody else who is an advisor to the president.
As First Lady, Clinton tried and failed to revamp the healthcare system.
I know from my own experiences and from the conversations I've been privileged to have with thousands of our fellow citizens across this country that something is wrong with our healthcare system and that it needs to be fixed.
The critics of Hillary Care were just as vocal as those of Obamacare. And Clinton was criticized for trying to engineer her health care reform plan without input from Congress.
Health care reform had been on life supports for weeks. Today, it fell to Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell to officially pull the plug. Under constant attack from critics, support for the package dropped steadily. Opposition increased. Key players say everyone is to blame for the death of health reform. The president, Mrs. Clinton, Democratic and Republican leaders in Congress.
Your husband has had a tough time lately in terms of the public perception. There are some people who believe, had you not been in charge of health care, some of these embarrassing fiascos wouldn't have happened.
I am very committed to doing what he's asked me to do, which is to work on health care. And, you know, a lot of these other matters are ones that, you know, things happen. You know, people make mistakes.
She also took her policy-making ambitions abroad, denouncing human rights abuses against women at a 1995 UN meeting in Beijing.
If there is one message that echoes forth from this conference, let it be that human rights are women's rights and women's rights are human rights once and for all.
But Clinton's time as First Lady was also often marred by controversy, and her detractors covered everything from the political to the personal.
With all of this talk of subpoenas, a key White House resignation over the weekend, a Republican suggesting impeachment, the president vigorously defending his wife, the core questions remain tonight. What is under investigation and why?
The committee's report makes it clear this administration believed evasion and obstruction were more important than the truth. The administration was involved in a highly orchestrated effort to keep the facts from the American people in the intricate web of deceit and abuse of power that is Whitewater.
I just wanted to comment that there's been one central figure that has been a major player in all three phases of this investigation, from the Vince Foster hours after his death to the Washington investigation to the events in Arkansas. And that one person has been Hillary Rodham Clinton.
There was the Whitewater scandal, which led to an investigation by a special prosecutor into a series of real estate transactions long before the Clintons were in the White House.
The question now, was it ethical for Hillary Clinton and her law firm to represent the SNL before a state regulator appointed by her husband?
Do you know of any money that could have gone from Madison to the Whitewater Project or to any of your husband's political campaigns?
Absolutely not. I do not.
And of course, there was her ever-scrutinized decision to stand by her husband, despite his affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So if what you have heard is something you can believe, and if what the president has told the nation is the whole truth and nothing but the truth,
right,
then you'd have to agree that this is the worst and most damaging smear of the 20th century.
The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
In a deposition in January, I was asked questions about my relationship with Monica Lewinsky. While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate.
She has been silent about this topic for months. Now Hillary Clinton is speaking out about the state of her marriage. The First Lady blamed her husband's problems on childhood abuse, saying everybody has some dysfunction in their family. They have to deal with it. You just don't walk away if you love someone. You help the person.
Democratic pollster Mark Mellman says Mrs. Clinton's popularity has skyrocketed
as America watches her handle a scandal that would tear most families apart.
She's smiling, she's holding his hand. I mean, that takes a lot. I have a great deal of respect for Hillary Clinton.
Hillary is hurting right now, and she needs all the support that she can get.
Based on what you know now, 5 years after coming to Washington, the personal attacks, the political attacks, do you sit home at night and think it's worth it?
It is worth it. Now, do I wish that we didn't live in a time where people were so malicious and evil-minded? Of course, but you know, that's human nature. So you take the good with the bad, and the good has far, far outweighed any bad at all.
Taking criticism from all sides as an unconventional First Lady forced Hillary Clinton to develop thick skin, something she's drawing on in 2016 as she becomes the first woman to be nominated by a major party for president.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews.